Any engineering project involves money. Money to plan, purchase, produce, and so on. This video describes the process. We will look at these topics one by one. As the slide says, we will focus on large-scale operations, but the principles can be applied to a project of any size. Financial planning is vital before a project proceeds. I'm sure you're all familiar with cash flow, outgoings and income. What is the cost of supplies and the cost of ownership? We'll look into these. Supply costs differ whether we are producing small numbers or large-scale production. For small scale, we respond to an advert and submit a tender. We submit an expression of interest along with other contractors, other providers, and a decision is made whether we get the contract or not. Then we legally sign the contract and start the work. Costing is often in start-up costs and stage payments. Mass production is concerned with markets, investment and pricing. Before mass production, money must be available and a market so that negative cash flow is needed. Here you can see the cash flow dipping in a negative direction until the market takes off and then profit is made. When sales commence, the situation becomes positive. If existing equipment or tools can be used, this will improve cash flow because it minimizes overheads. Pricing involves three issues: competition, market volume, and cash flow, and so profits. Sales and markets will influence the selling price. And as you can see in the graph, there is a crossover place or position where profit is made. As far as the selling price goes, these costs will influence the selling price. There will be fixed costs and variable costs. And once again, there is a break-even point, because after a time the initial costs will be recovered and the manufacturer goes into profit. Discount pricing for volume sales can alter the initial calculations. Production costs have to include spare parts or reusing parts from previous designs. Another cost is in distributing the products. Warehousing, storage and transport also has to be funded. Off-the-shelf and special orders are costed differently. Customers' taste affects the marketing, assessing prices of all competitors. Industrial purchasers buy on the strength of the cost of ownership. Here's some costs of ownership as examples. You might like to come back to this slide when you've seen the video. The cost-benefit analysis helps businesses make decisions, as you saw in the earlier video, cost-benefit analysis. Here are some steps in the cost-benefit analysis. all costs and benefits, tangible, intangible, the time period, the financial situation like interest, market forces, sensitivity analysis. All of these go into making the decision. And here is a typical worksheet for cost-benefit analysis, one that you will have used or will be using for your Engineers Without Borders design. There are complications in the calculation, and here's a list of the components of that analysis. The process is only a guide because there are so many variables. And sometimes we have to ask the accountant for help to estimate costs, cash flow, to calculate some taxes. Product economics is a very complex topic. Thank you for listening.